Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we have a vintage 1990. I think I can call that vintage, 35 years old. I don't know, I guess maybe it depends on how old you are yourself. Anyway, a 1990 Zippo Slim windproof lighter with what I believe you call the commemorative stamp, as 1932 to the left up top and then 1990 to the right. Anyway, we purchased this lighter a few weeks ago at a local vendor mall. Very affordable price, I believe $5. It was very corroded. We have cleaned it up, polished it a little with some Brasso, and now we're going to take another look at it before we actually put it in our pocket and set about using. I have not seen this tone on a brass lighter very often, simply because I believe they're usually tarnished. Maybe tarnish isn't the right word, but I think that is what you would call the effect that takes place when you have a brass lighter that does not have a clear coat on top of it, but it's just left bare, and the effects of your sweat, acids on your hands, dirt, whatever else might have accumulated and transferred from your hand onto the lighter at some point or another as you used it, is going to have some effect on the way that bare solid brass, as you can see this lighter is, finish on that lighter. There are plenty of other blemishes, scuffs, scratches, scrapes. Has fallen and taken some damage here at some point, it looks like. I mentioned the bottom stamp. You can see there, Zippo, BRADFORD, PA, and then 1932, 1990. I believe that is what they call the commemorative stamp. First used, and I'm not even sure if it was used on Slims in 1982, but I believe it was the 50th anniversary when they first stamped the 1932, which of course, if you ask our friend Larry Leiter, and I think it's pretty much a settled issue at this point. There were no actual Zippo lighters produced in 32, and maybe not even patents or ideas settled for the lighter. I'm not sure of all the history, but I know that Larry is very quick when posts are made about the dates on the Zippo lighter to point out that those dates were wrong, and not only were the dates wrong, but I believe some of the patent information that has been put out by Zippo itself has been wrong. So this lighter was also heavily corroded here on the front. And in the right light you can see some of the scars of that. You see some brushing. Really want to get a representative look of it so you can see how it wears. And I'm going to eventually put this in my store. Maybe somebody decides to purchase it who has the name Tonya or has a wife or girlfriend named Tonya. I don't believe it's had any fuel. It lit once for me earlier, but then wouldn't light again. So we'll go ahead and pull that felt pad up. You can see that that's pretty dirty on the outside, but looks pretty clean on the inside. I need to go to Winco and pick up some more Ronsonol. Didn't realize how low I was. But if it is still around the same price that it was, I've been paying $4 for the 12-ounce bottles over there, so I don't know if you've got a Winco in your area, but that's definitely a better price than you're going to find on either Ronsonol or on Zippo fuel on Amazon anyway. I didn't check. I should have gone and checked on eBay too what those currently were going for, but I didn't. I just checked Amazon. That's a pretty good price, $4 for the 12 ounces. And I don't see any difference. Maybe I'm blind to some element of it, who knows, but I don't see any difference in the Ronsonol or the Zippo fuel. I think they're identical in different bottles. So definitely somewhere to this other than the corrosion that we talked about, that we polished out to a great deal, but you can sort of still see the shadows of it here. It's hard for me to get it to show up without, I don't know, maybe if I had a white background. Let me grab one of my business cards here and turn that around. There you can see that shadow a little better. So not perfectly polished out, definitely enough that I think now we can use it a little bit and see what sort of tarnish and wear to the finish takes place. Hopefully it's a nice natural look, just aged look, and of course when I list it I'll be honest about everything I've done with it. Polished it with some Brasso, used it to sort of wear the finish back in. I mentioned that I believe this is considered the Commemorative. I think this may also be a gold-plated insert, which is somewhat worn. It is dated J of, very hard to read. That may be an I, it may be a V. I don't know if it shows up in the camera or in the, very hard to see. I'll have to see if I can get some pictures of that. Very hard to pick up through the viewfinder of the camera here on the phone. I think it is an I. Of course, I'll go look up and see what 1990 is, because I'm sure that's the original insert, with it being either gold plated. I don't know if it can't. I don't know that it can be brass plated. But definitely similar tone. And I think that may have been the standard thing at the time, was gold-plated insert in the Commemorative solid brass lighter. Monogrammed with the script Tonya, what some people will call an upside-down base stamp. Hinge that has a little bit of a wobble and definitely some sweep wear, plating loss across much of the insert, including the windscreen. Still a pretty nice lighter that works, and we're going to see how it wears for us. Until next time.